Welcome to the Christy Jones Show. This is your go-to podcast for living life to the fullest. I am a life and empowerment coach, speaker, and business owner in multifamily real estate. I am a woman passionate about helping others build a life that they truly desire. We'll talk about how to make the most out of every day, from setting meaningful goals to embracing the present moment. So join us as we explore the depths of living a life that is full of joy, purpose, and satisfaction. Well, hello, my friend. Welcome back to another week and another episode on the Christy Jones Show, all the things to live your life to the fullest. So today's podcast episode is Hotter, Stronger, and Happier. Yeah, the title might raise an eyebrow or two, but hear me out, okay? So don't hang up yet. So I am very excited, passionate, and just lit up about how we move through life, right? I talk about how we show up in the world, how we choose to see ourselves, how we actually move through the world, move through our day, move through our comings and goings, right? And I'm also really passionate about our movement, our exercise, how we show up in that space, because it's my belief that moving our body all the time, every day, being consistent, makes a huge difference in the quality of your life. It is a huge difference maker in how you either live your life to the fullest or you don't. And, you might have a different opinion on that, but hear me out, because here's the thing. Our health, our physical health and our mental health, both our health in general offers us amazing freedom. Once that's gone, life really changes. Things change when we consistently don't give our body and our brain what it needs. And so I want to talk about the importance and a few takeaways, right, on why you want to be passionate about moving your body every day, why you want to have in your routine, in your practice, in your habits, ways that you show up in your life to move your body, to exercise. And here's the thing, that's going to look different for everybody. It's going to look different for each of us. But I'm almost 53. I'll be turning 53 next month. Well, by the time you hear this, I'll almost be a week away from turning 53, because I'm recording this in July. But I'm almost 53. And one of the things that has never failed me is staying true to my fitness, staying true to showing up, doing my movement, doing my workouts, doing my exercise. And that has been different things at different stages in life, right? But the importance of that and how the fitness and movement and exercise and moving my body now, my entire life, it's almost like putting money in a savings account or investing your money in, I'm do a lot of real estate. So I'm going to talk about real estate and use that example there. You're now reaping the benefits of that. You're getting the dividends. You're getting that reward. So yeah, especially if you're hearing this and you're like, I am just this, no, not for me. I am just fine chilling on the couch. And that's cool. But at a certain time, that can go for a certain time in your life. And at some point in life, the inactivity, the sedentary lifestyle catches up with the human body, period. Sedentary lifestyle catches up with the body and the brain at some point in time. So I'm going to talk about that today. I call it hotter, stronger, and happier, because come on, we're human, right? It feels good if you're, nothing wrong with being a little bit hotter. I'm just going to come out and say that for sure. It feels good when you feel good in your body and you're moving good in your body, and you put on your clothes and you're like, you're liking what you see. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, call a spade a spade. I think that that's perfectly fine. And we need to like quit beating around the bush and say that's not one of the reasons why we don't like staying active, being fit, because it feels good, period. Stronger. Yeah, getting stronger is really a lot. I've learned is a lot of work. I lift more weights now. I build more muscle now than I ever have in my life. And I have been on that path for as far as really focusing on my overall strength and focusing on, increasing my muscle, decreasing, body fat percentage, and really paying attention to that. Probably about 4 years now, 5 years, time's flying, maybe 4 years since I was 49, I would say. So getting stronger is really important as you move through life, because muscle is your friend. And I'm not talking like people, like if you're listening to this podcast, you don't know me. I am not a bodybuilder. I am not a fitness competition person. I am not talking that level. That is a whole nother level of focus and discipline and lifestyle that takes another set of practices and discipline and focus and all these other things that you have to do to achieve that, because it's a ton of work. I'm talking about building muscle so it just protects your skeletal system. Building muscle so that your posture is great. Building muscle so that you have definition. Muscle is what gives the body the shape. It holds differently. I don't even know how to put words to it right now. So muscle has a ton of health benefits. I mean, it's great for your metabolism. I mean, there's a laundry list. I'm not going to go so much into that because that's not my area of expertise. But I am going to talk about why it's so important to make moving your body every day such a priority. So hotter, stronger, happier. Have you listened lately to anyone talk about mental health, brain health as we get older, brain health even when we're younger, managing anxiety, managing, just managing emotions? Moving your body and exercising contribute to how you mentally feel, contributes to how your brain operates. So a lot of times, exercise, movement, working out, all of that, we tend to think more from like the chin down, right? But the benefits of leading an active life and working out and challenging your body have so many benefits right here in our own brain. So it is one of the things that I believe you can do at any given time. You're in control of that. There's so many resources available to us now. And so hotter, stronger, happier. I mean, it's like boom, boom, boom. Exercise, fitness, movement, it encompasses all of that. It takes care of all of that. All right. So quickly, yes, I have always just kind of put a personal spin on the episode. I have always loved working out, fitness, living a healthy lifestyle. Grew up as a kid, like a lot of you probably can relate, grew up playing sports, multiple sports, loved sports, and I loved playing sports. I just loved it. Obviously, once those years were over, I moved into, I missed that. I missed competing. I missed playing sports. I just missed all of, and not just the competition part, but all the preparation part too. As much as I wanted to complain as, a young person, a teenager about, oh my God, we've got to train again. We've got to practice again, blah, 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 blah. I mean, it's what you do when you're 16, you're 17, you complain about stuff like, I don't want to do that. I don't feel like doing that, but you do it. And that's where the discipline comes in. That's where the consistency comes in. And so always loved that. And then later, so then it looks different, right? So it follows along in different phases of your life. So in my, after that ends, so you go in your 20s, I folded into what that looked like, introducing myself to the gym, tons of cardio back then. Oh my gosh. Anyone listening around my age, it was cardio, and more cardio. And so, yeah, running and all the things, right? So went through that phase. And then, start getting in my 30s and then, notice like some metabolism starts adjusting a little bit. So now I have to adjust that up. And, as far as like kind of changing my workouts up a little bit. So every season of my life, I've enjoyed going to the gym, working out, challenging myself. And every season of my life, I have been able to notice the physical and mental benefits of moving my body and staying consistent with that practice. I can tell you that there's never been a time where I feel like following through on that habit has had a negative effect on my life. I mean, it's always had a benefit side of it. So anyways, needless to say, I just really have always tied into the mind-body connection and our overall wellness on that. So our body and our mind, by body, mind, and spirit for sure. But for today's conversation, I'm going to focus on, the brain and the body and all the things that moving our body and exercise, what it gives to us. And just to like kind of wrap up what I was just talking about, as far as like where I'm at now, what I do, I obviously have a much more flexible schedule because I'm an empty nester now. Yes, I work. Yes, I have other obligations, but it looks different when I was getting up at 4 a.m. to do my workouts when I was a young parent and had young kids. And my son was, at school, I don't know, was the bus picked up something crazy, like, was it 6:45 a.m.? School started at 7:10. I mean, so I had to get my workout in super early because then after he gets on the bus, then I got to get to work. So, you know what I'm talking about. So I had to squeeze it in. I was getting up at, 4:30, heading to the gym, so on and so forth. Now I have some more flexibility because I'm an empty nester. So you have to just look at what season of life you're in and figure out what makes sense to you. And now what makes sense to me is I love that I get to challenge myself, and it's kind of like the sky's the limit. And I can, I feel like I can see what feels right for my body, challenge myself, meet the challenge, find the next challenge. And it's very, it's very empowering when you are in that space, because you see something hard, this looks hard, then you do the hard thing. And what that gives back to you is so much. Like, you feel so empowered. You're like, okay, did that, check. What's next? So that's where I'm at right now. I do have a coach, and why do I get a coach? Because I got a coach because I want to make progress faster than I would do it on my own. And I want a coach because I want to know what to do. I don't want to have to think. I want someone that knows all the things. And functional fitness is really important to me. And so I follow what my coach says, writes my programs. I go to the gym, I do the workout. Now, I've had personal trainers in the past years, occasionally here and there. And that's been great too. But I'm at a point where I don't really necessarily want to meet with a trainer. Like, I just want to do it when I want to do it. And you just tell me what I need to do and give me my outline. And I'm going to do it. Like, no questions asked. I'm going, I'm doing it. It's happening. So if you need that extra bit of encouragement, you need more hands-on, you need more from an accountability, like they're waiting on me, so now I have to go. A trainer that is physically there is a great option for you. And so, yeah, I have a coach and I love showing up. I love not thinking about it. I just look at what's on my workout for the day. I do it. I check it off. I check in with my coach and I'm good to go. And I kind of look at it like this. How do you know when to get a coach? Well, here's the thing. If you're not making the gains that you want to make, get a trainer, get a coach. If you are having issues with, accountability, showing up for yourself, things like that, have a trainer or coach. If you are wanting to get from point A to point B in a more expedient fashion than it would take if you just did it on your own, that's why you have a coach. That's why you have a trainer. Okay. So to me, my health is super important to me, because if my health goes south, it's so hard to get it back on track. Okay. So I want someone that's going to guide me and it's going to give me a path and say, this is what your body needs right now. This is what you implement. And then I'm going to implement. Does that make sense? So I get really, really excited talking about this subject because quality of life matters. Quality of life matters. It really does. I used to say in another podcast, I was talking about something. I said, quantity, like the years you live, that's cool. That's important. Like, we all want to have as much time as possible, right? I get it. That's really important. However, the quality of the years that you are walking, breathing on this earth, don't you want to just feel amazing? Don't you want to just feel lit up, on fire, feeling good in your body and your brain? Like, it makes life so much more enjoyable, exciting, adventurous. So just some food for thought there. So here's a few talking points. Okay. Let me take you through these really quickly. So number one, start where you're at. Like, start where you're at. Like, I believe there is movement and there is a form of exercise for everybody. And we all don't have to like the same things. There are so many options out there of what to do and how to do it. So start where you're at, figure out what you enjoy doing. Like, if you absolutely hate a certain thing, like you just can't stand yoga, you hate going to a yoga class, don't go to a yoga class. Guess what? There's like 48 other options that you can do. So don't let that be an excuse. I hate running. I hear that all the time. Well, okay. So do a lot of other people. They don't enjoy it. So why don't you find something that you do enjoy and quit talking about that you hate running? Okay. You hate running. I mean, I'm glad. It's good to know that. Now you know. So now you know that. And now you know that there's 101 other things that you can choose to do. Super exciting. So start where you're at. Second thing, habits, discipline, consistency, routines, they matter. They so matter. Do I wake up every day and go, oh my God, I cannot wait to work out? Most days I do. I'm going to be honest. Most days I am really looking forward to it because I know how much it benefits me in all the ways. But there are days that I wake up and I'm like, because I try to get them in the morning, but sometimes it doesn't happen, but so I scoot it to later in the day, but ideally I love to get it in the morning. But there's those days, right? And I'm like, oh, I'm just not feeling it. Either it's a mood, either I'm tired, either whatever, like life happens. And so on those days, what I do is I lean hard into my habits into my own self, my discipline. And I don't focus on how I feel. Like, meaning, now, if I am just flat worn out and I have gone way too long with enough sleep, enough recovery, or I'm feeling sick. I mean, obviously there's things that I'm going to have to dial it back for the day. It's more beneficial to rest than push myself. So let me just say that. However, I'm talking about the times that I'm like, oh, I don't want to work out. Those days, right? So that's when discipline matters. So I don't focus on how I feel. I ask myself, and and then I start coaching myself. I'm like, okay, we're going to not focus so much on how I feel. Because if I always acted on how I felt, life would be a shit show, people. Seriously, right? Think about it. If you acted 100% all the time on whatever random feeling you were having at the moment, which is honestly, think about how many thoughts we have a day, right? Hang on, I have to have a drink real quick. So seriously, so you can't just go around just floundering around acting on every single feeling that you have. So I tell myself, no, I'm not going to focus on that. I'm going to focus on what I know to be true. And what I know to be true is I always feel better after my workout. And what I know to be true is when I get to the gym and I get through those first 2 or 3 things, then I'm in a rhythm. What I know to be true is that I feel less heaviness, less stress. It takes care of any, if I'm feeling anxious about anything, I feel so much better emotionally, mentally, physically if I do my workout, if I move my body. So I focus on what I know. I stay disciplined. I stay true to what the habit is. So when I lean into that, I can focus less on how I feel because it's fleeting, right? It's not going to always steer, my feelings aren't going to always steer me in the direction that's best for my well-being. So that's one thought there. Rest, sleep, and recovery. Very important. Very, very important. And don't underestimate the power of sleep and resting and proper recovery. So that is something that I have learned tremendously from my coach. My coach is also my son with Jones Performance. Fabulous. I'll put the link in the show notes. Fabulous program, and honestly has me in the best shape of my life. I need to get him on here for a podcast episode because I really want him, because he knows the way he explains things is so much deeper, better than the way. That's why I'm not going to go into the details because that's not my area of expertise. But I'm going to have him. I'm going to ask him to come on. And I really want him to talk about the benefits of movement and functional fitness. So, I've really learned something I've learned from him so much in the last several years is proper recovery and what that looks like and what that feels like. So rest, sleep, and recovery are very, very important to, your health and wellness and your movement and your fitness level. And then I already talked about getting a coach or a trainer. So I won't dive more into that, but I will say that here's a way to look at it. And I was sharing this with a client a couple of weeks ago, and when I was coaching her. So here's one of the things I like to describe. So when athletes have, they have coaches, and when they win a game, they go through their season, whatever, even when they have the best game of their life or the best match of their life or whatever, they don't turn to their coach and say, you know what, it's all right. I won't need you, or the team, let's say, even if it's a team sport, not going to need you next for the next game, like, we got it. We're just going to go out here. They have like a whole, like, athletes, especially I'm talking about high level athletes, they have a whole plethora of people that basically coach them in different areas, right? So maybe you have a position coach, you have trainers, you have all the things. And so they don't turn to those people because they've had like a kick-ass game or the best season of their life and go, you know what? Like, I'm good. I'm just going to like freelance it from here. I'll see you next week, or I'll be on the court by myself next week, or I got it. Whatever. They don't say that. No. They keep their system in place. They know that they need coaches it doesn't mean that they're phenomenal. They're performing at a high level, right? Maybe they just had the game of their life. But there's always that 1% that we can improve just a little bit better, that we need to look at, well, what do I need to adjust for the next game, for the next competition, right? And so coaches, trainers, I view that in the same way. So I was sharing with a client, like, athletes don't drop their coaches because like things are going smooth. It's a process. There's this whole dynamic that's going on, and to continually make the gains, to level up, to reach your goals. I'm just a big believer. I'm a big believer in coaches in all areas of life, and, business, fitness. I could go on and on and on. Life coach, what I do, these are all things that we need when we're wanting to get somewhere quicker, more efficient, not hit the same like bumps in the road, the potholes in the road sometimes, right? Get sidetracked. Like, we want to be more efficient. We want results. That's where good coaches come in. And I talked about what works for me now, which look in my fitness and moving my body, which looks so much different than it did like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, right? So my takeaway I want you to like put in your brain on this right here, on this talking point, is be open for change. Okay, so you've worked out or you've exercised in one way for most of your life, or the last 3 years, or the last whatever. Be open for new ways that might serve you better. So we can all get stuck in a rut, right? And then sometimes it's just changing it up. Like I said earlier, someone might hate yoga, but they love doing Pilates. They might love doing bar. They might love running. They might love walking. Whatever it is, strength training, that can be accomplished in a lot of different ways. I'm just huge on functional fitness because I've watched it change my body, my strength, in ways I never knew possible. I've watched it work for others too. It's crazy. It's so the focus on strength and muscle has really been eye-opening for me. So, another takeaway on this is not only the physical changes in your body from moving your body all the time, but also the mental well-being, your brain health. I mean, I can't emphasize that enough. For you to live your life to the fullest, this right here, our head, if you're watching on YouTube, I'm pointing to my head. I mean, that is everything, you guys. It is everything. So important. Like, if all the connections in our brain, all the neural pathways, when those aren't firing as sharp as they can, it makes a difference in your quality of life. So by moving your body every day, you are benefiting your brain health in ways that, you don't even have to, that sounds silly, but you don't even have to think about it. And you're benefiting your brain health by moving your body. So to kind of wrap this up, I think the last talking point I'm going to touch on is When you are investing in your health and you are moving your body every day and not doing the opposite of a sedentary lifestyle, let's say, and really understanding the importance of movement and exercise. When you're in that space, you got to back it up with what you choose to put inside your body to get your optimal results. Now, I'm not saying everything you eat, drink has to be perfect, but you need to be cognizant of what you are fueling your body with. And that is a huge component. I had a nutrition coach for a while. And I wanted to understand everything on how my body was working with all my labs, my blood work, like break it down. And then really dug deep. And I've got an excellent resource. Not only I mentioned Jones Performance, but I have another excellent resource from a nutritional standpoint that works remote. So like can work with anyone. He works with a ton of athletes as well, like Jones Performance does, but they also have programs for what I call like regular people like you and me. And they don't know I'm saying this in this podcast episode. So I got to give them FYI. Hey, I've got you noted in the show notes. But anyways, I did use a nutrition coach for quite some time. And I was 40, I think I was 49 when I started with him, 49, 50. And that made a huge difference. And then I was able to learn more about what I'm eating, how I'm eating it. And and this is real food. This isn't like, meal plan type of stuff. This is like eating food, real food, eating nutritious, whole food. So if you're going to live a life to where you want to feel the best in your body, in your brain, then you need to back it up with the practices that you do of what you put in your body. And, there's anything in excess is going to not help your body and brain. So be wise on that. Think about that. Like, what habits do you have that that you maybe need to adjust? It's really good to look at those. I looked at I'm always looking at, what might need a little tweak here or there. So be very aware that not only is movement extremely important to really live your life fully and be excited and like have energy and be hotter, stronger, and happier, but also what we put inside of our body, that those two things kind of just like they go hand in hand. They kind of are a 2-for-1 deal. So that is my thoughts on, why, if you follow me on social media, I'm on there all the time. Like, what's your plan this week? Where are you going to get your movement in? I know I sound like a broken record, but it's because it has served me so freaking well in my life. Cannot believe that I'm going to turn 53 next month. And, with functional fitness and what I've been doing with Jones Performance, I have no pain. I don't deal with like pain in my body. I feel so good. I feel strong. I feel, flexible. Just all the things, energized. So I want to close by saying and emphasize how important it is to listen to our body at every season of our life. Okay. Our bodies, you guys, they are so flippin' smart. If we intuitively listen to our bodies, it guides us. All right. It totally guides us on what we need and what's right for us, what's going to help us feel better. So if you are struggling with exercise, you are struggling with wanting to move your body on a regular basis, let me encourage you and let me offer, number one, give yourself some grace. Okay. Do not beat yourself up over this, but don't give up on yourself. If you're walking, breathing, moving, rolling, jump, whatever, skipping. Don't give up on yourself. Okay. There is time. If you're hearing this podcast, you got time to make a different choice, to start moving your body. So don't give up on yourself. Don't cheat yourself from being all that you can be. Do not cheat yourself on something that is something that you can so fix. You can have more movement in your day, in your week, if you so choose. And you can start where you're at. You can live each day in a strong, healthy body. Not only in a strong, healthy body, but with a clear mind. Like, doesn't that sound, I just think that's how I hope to live my entire life. That's my goal. It's one of my goals. I got a lot of goals, but that's one of my goals. You were made to do great things. If it sounds hard when I talk about, moving your body and, and really moving your body every day and not being sedentary, if that sounds hard, my friend, we were made to do and conquer hard things. You are wired for that. Do not give up on yourself. You were made to do great things in your lifetime. So let me remind you that the body that we're given, the arms, the legs, the head, the ears, the feet, this is our vehicle that we've been given to do the great things in this lifetime. So treat it well. Treat it well. I mean, this is the shell that we're given. Okay. Your soul, your spirit, the essence of who you are. Like, all this is our container. Okay. That's all this is. And so be good to it. Let your body help you do all the amazing things in your life that you want to do and experience and be. So honor your body. Give yourself the gift of exercise and movement. Give yourself that gift. You'll be on your way to feeling hotter, stronger, and happier in no time. So, all right. Well, thanks for tuning in this week. I know that I covered a lot of talking points. Feel free to drop me a message on social media, send me a DM, drop me an email, anything like that. I'd love to chat more with you on this. I will work very hard at getting Joan's Performance on an episode soon to talk about, functional fitness in general, all the things. Wealth of information there. So anyways, please rate and review the show. Again, you listening means the world to me, and I so appreciate you being on this journey with me on this podcast show. It's been a lot of fun. So until next time, go move your body. Move your body. And be sure you follow me on social media if you want a little bit of humor and you want someone that's going to kind of, talk about all the time. Hey, you moving your body? Do you have it on your calendar? Just give me a follow. That's where I'll be. All right. I will talk to you next week. Have a great rest of your day.